Venezuela responding after U.S. forces seized.
Okay, and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show video live stream. I'm Ken Lundberg. It is Thursday, December 11th, 2025, and my guests in the studio this morning, we're talking with Berrien County Prosecutor Amy Byrd. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Jamie Rossow is the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan Executive Director. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You are new to the WSJM studios. This is your first time on the show.
Yes, it is.
Very good.
Very
Welcome.
excited to be here.
Yeah, excellent. Welcome. So we'll get your origin story at some point this morning, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
But first off, for those who are unaware, you're here today to talk about University of Michigan football. No.
Go green. I'm out of here.
No, you're here to talk about Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan. You do very important work there, very heavy work.
Yes.
Maybe for people who are unfamiliar with the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan, what is it that you do?
We are a nonprofit organization that works collaboratively with the prosecutor's office, local law enforcement agencies, child protective services, and Corewell Health in investigating allegations of child abuse. If there are allegations or concern for a child's safety, we receive the referrals through either law enforcement or CPS, and they will take those referrals in. They'll call us and set up an appointment for a forensic interview. And that's bringing the kids on site at our facility. We're child-friendly, trauma-informed, want to provide a space for kids to tell their story in a less traumatic space and with skilled professionals in terms of how to talk to kids.
Yeah.
And so we bring them on site. We have 2 rooms in there that we have a teen room and a kids room that are equipped with recording equipment. We do video record our interviews, and the child meets with the forensic interviewer who is really highly skilled and trained on how to conduct these forensic interviews. There's a protocol they follow. They have to determine whether the child is capable of participating in the interview. They do a lot of rapport building, make sure the child's comfortable. Our goal is to keep the child comfortable. It's not, we always tell the caregivers, it's not an interrogation, it's an interview. If the child ever gets upset or doesn't want to be in that interview room, then we're done and we'll move on and figure out another way to get the information. But when we do the interview, we have our whole team there, which we call our multidisciplinary team, and they are there to watch the interview. So they sit in another room behind a one-way mirror and watch the interview and can hear it and can ask the interviewer questions through an earpiece that she wears during the interview. So typically when we have it conduct an interview, we have someone from the Berrien County Prosecutor's Office, one of the prosecutors, a child protective service worker, and a law enforcement officer that sits and watches that. And the idea is that the child can come to us, tell their story one time, and all the people that are involved in the investigation have all their questions answered. So the child doesn't have to continually talk to all these different groups of people and tell their story over and over, which most of the kids that are referred to us are for allegations of sexual abuse. So obviously very traumatic, and we don't want these kids to have to continue to tell their story. Our goal is to get the information, and then the professionals can take it from there, and then we can focus on the recovery of the child.
Yeah. Does it always work as intended? Do you have the child go through that horrible account once and then not have to go through it again? Does it work like that?
It works really well compared to how we used to do it years ago. I mean, we're a accredited child advocacy center. I think we're up to about 40 state of Michigan, and there's over 900 nationally. So it is a program that's well known and has been working well. It started in the 70s in Alabama. So it really is a studied process of how to reduce the trauma to the child. And then that collaborative effort that the team can talk through and talk next steps. We do monthly case reviews, or we can talk through the cases, make sure things aren't falling through the cracks, and make sure that everybody's moving that case along that's in the best interest of the child and the family.
Okay. All right. There's a lot to unpack there. So we're going to be talking about that with Jamie Rossow and Amy Byrd. Jamie is the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan Executive Director. Amy Byrd is the Berrien County Prosecutor. We'll be back with more after news in just a moment here on the WSJM Morning Show.
.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
28 degrees in Benton Harbor, 29 in St. Joseph. Feels like in St. Joseph right now about 11 degrees. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Taking a quick look, I'm just hitting refresh on the website here. If we have any additional closings, there were some closures of schools this morning because of the ice on the roadways. Buchanan Community Schools closed. Niles Community Schools closed today. And out in Three Oaks, River Valley School District is closed because of the ice on the roadways. So again, walk like a penguin. That way you don't slip and fall on the sidewalk. The forecast for today, mostly cloudy, a chance of lake effect snow showers, about 20%. And the high around 25 degrees. Some of the news from the WSJM newsroom this morning. Lake Michigan College will host the 2026 Michigan Black Summit. It's coming up on February 6th and 7th. Summit Chair Trenton Bowens says the theme this year will be a fierce urgency of now and will guide discussions on improving conditions for Black communities across Michigan. Benton Harbor Mayor Marcus Muhammad will serve as host and says the city is the right setting for this event.
Well, I think Benton Harbor has always been ground zero from this stage and from this platform. I think that it gives people who want to improve the entire state an opportunity to come to a place where if Benton Harbor can be lifted up, then as the adage goes, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison will deliver the Friday keynote, and organizers say a nationally known surprise speaker is expected on Saturday. Tickets are available on the summit's Facebook page. You can get that link at WSJM.com. Baroda will ring in the new year this year with a new family-friendly celebration. Round Barn Winery founder Matt Morsch is helping launch the Countdown on First Street in Baroda. It runs from 4 to 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve.
All the hospitality businesses will be open. We're going to have live ice carving several times. We'll have 8 different sculptures. We're going to have wagon rides provided by Fruitful Vine up and down the street. Each business has a special. We're having a featured dinner, so is TJ's.
At 10 p.m., organizers plan to drop a bedazzled keg to mark the new year early. They're doing it at 10 o'clock because it's family friendly. Morsch says the goal is to bring a more activity and energy into the town.
I had the idea, talk to our fellow entrepreneurs in Baroda, and everyone was so excited to open their arms up for the community to come in, have a good New Year's, and safely, and also have some things to look at.
Round Barn will also have its Brew Year's Eve celebration with music and fire pits before the keg drop. The event is free and open to the public. Again, that's happening in Baroda. It's called Countdown on First Street, New Year's Eve at 4 p.m. Berrien County Treasurer Shelley Wyke is visiting communities countywide from January through March. She's planning to help residents who have delinquent property taxes and want to solve the issue. She says she'll be in 11 municipalities to meet with property owners at risk of foreclosure from unpaid property taxes dating back to 2023 and earlier. About 600 property owners are currently on payment plans.
I take a look at their situation and try and get a dollar amount that works for them, but also I still have the responsibility of collecting those taxes and getting them paid off, getting them paid back to the county.
Wyke says more people have fallen behind and many prefer to meet locally to discuss their options.
They come in, I've had a number of people crying that they don't want to lose their home, but I tell them, as long as you are working with me, I'm going to make sure on my end that we keep you in your house and keep that roof over your head.
Dates and locations of the meetings are posted on our website. You can look for the story at WSJM.com. And Corwell Health Lakeland Hospital in St. Joseph has opened a dedicated emergency department for pregnant women. Obstetrics and Gynecology Director Dr. Ben Wood says the new unit is located on the 3rd floor in the labor and delivery area and provides 24/7 care for pregnancy-related emergencies.
We want the pregnant patients to be able to be seen quickly and not have to wait in the waiting room for the emergency department. And because with obstetric emergencies, time...
The department will treat issues like decreased fetal movement, high blood pressure, and preterm labor. Most patients beyond 14 weeks will be sent from the ER to the new unit.
Initially, when the patient presents to the main ED, they will be assessed and triaged and from there, they'll be directed either to be seen in the main ED or be sent up to the OB-ED.
Wood says the main ER will continue to treat non-pregnancy related conditions. Corewell encourages patients to call if they have any questions. That's a look at some of the local news that we're covering in the WSJM newsroom. We have more to talk about. In fact, this hour, we're visiting with a couple of special guests who are in studio. Amy Byrd is the Berrien County Prosecutor, and Jamie Rossow, the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan Executive Director. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So again, the road report out there is somewhat slick. It's mid. Okay, so be careful out there.
Some dry roads, some icy.
Some dry roads, some icy. And again, a couple of school closures, Buchanan, Niles, River Valley out by Three Oaks, kind of nasty out there. So take that into account. But we're here this morning to talk a lot about the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan. And Jamie, we had you on the video live stream just a moment ago, talk a little bit about it. Maybe you can give just an overview again of, and then we'll go into your origin story of, but what is the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan? How long have you been here, and what do you do?
So we've been around, we started as a prevention program back in the 70s.
Okay.
And then around early 2000, around 2002, 2003 was where a group of individuals in the community decided to get together and knew the concept of the Children's Advocacy Center to investigate these allegations of child abuse. So we've been around for a while. We're probably one of the senior ones in the state of Michigan. So we've been around a long time, and we investigate any allegations of child abuse. Specifically child sexual abuse. We do see severe physical abuse, and we see kids that were witness to violence.
Yeah, and the prosecutor is here. Amy Byrd is here from the Berrien County Prosecutor's Office. Prosecutor's Office plays a huge role in this as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I think one of the things just to note is this type of abuse is significantly underreported. But when it is, those children have the opportunity to go to a child-friendly environment to make their statements by a trained, wonderful interviewer who is doing this in a non-traumatic way and in a non-leading way to get the best information that they can. And if there is a disclosure of abuse, then our office is obviously going to be involved with holding the offender accountable and also working with the family as we go along through the prosecution.
Okay. All right. Very important service that's here in Southwest Michigan. Children's advocacy centers, they don't exist in every county, right?
No, they don't. We're fortunately in Michigan, we're doing a really good job of getting that coverage for all counties. And we have a state chapter that was basically their goal is to make sure every child in Michigan has access to an advocacy center. We work closely with Cass County as well. They don't have an accredited one in their community, but we do receive referrals from their law enforcement and child protection services constantly. So we want to make sure that any kid that needs those services has access to them. So we will take referrals from other organizations as well.
Okay, we're going to explore this topic this hour here on the WSJM Morning Show, again with Amy Byrd, Berrien County Prosecutor, and Jamie Rossow, Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan. We're going to continue the conversation right now on our video live stream here on the radio. We're going to get sports update, a couple of important messages, and weather forecast. It's all here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Sports.
All right, it's 7:13 and back on the video live stream. So, Jamie, since you're newer to the WSJM studio, give us your origin story. Who are you? How'd you become executive director? Start at the beginning, though. Where are you from?
Way back when.
Yeah.
Date myself. I grew up in the area, went to Lake Michigan Catholic, now Our Lady of the Lake.
Yeah.
Left to go to college, go green.
Spartan.
State, yeah.
Okay.
And then lived in Chicago for about 15 years. And got my master's degree there, met a guy, got married, and we decided that Southwest Michigan's a phenomenal place to raise kids.
Okay.
So we moved back probably early 2000s, about 2005.
Were you working out in Chicago?
I was not at the time. I
Okay.
had 3 small children, so I was a stay-at-home mom for about 5 or 6 years, which
Okay.
I loved. And then when I came here, I was still being a stay-at-home mom and just realized that I needed some adult interaction and to be able to they were tiny, get out of the house a little bit. And I actually was looking for a volunteer opportunity and was on the board of directors of where I am for about 3 years. And while I was there, the executive director left and they were looking for someone to temporarily and, look at the books, make sure things were running financially. And I did that for a while and really loved it. And it just kind of fit timing wise. My is going to date myself. My youngest was starting all-day kindergarten, and she just graduated at Michigan State, so I've been around for a very long time. But it was just a great opportunity to step in and work with a phenomenal organization. I've all these years have had staff that are top-notch. They're passionate about what they do. They're there for the right reasons. And I say I'm kind of behind the scenes doing the administrative side, and they're the front line that are working day to day with the kids that are just really amazing people. So I've been there since 2008 or 9, so a very long time, and I love it. I don't think I could find a better job.
Yeah. What? How many people are working out there at the Children's Advocacy Center?
We have 10 staff members. So we have our interviewers that I talked about that meet with the kids. And then if there is a disclosure, we have on-site therapy, and we provide crisis counseling and long-term therapy to the child victim and any non-offending family members. So siblings that are in the home, parents, anybody that's impacted by this abuse, which is most of the family, can come receive therapy services. All our services are free of charge for the families. And then we also offer advocacy services to work with the family to get through this whole process. It's a very daunting process sometimes, and a lot of questions, a lot of groups that maybe families aren't familiar with working with, so we're kind of their point of contact. And then we could spend a whole nother hour talking about our phenomenal prevention programs that are within the Berrien County School District.
Definitely want to touch on those, but what's the magnitude of the issue? How many people are we talking about? How many children do you see on a daily, weekly, yearly basis?
So like Amy had mentioned, it's a very underreported abuse. So we know, we kind of look at the kids that get to us as the lucky ones, that they told someone, that someone believed them, that it was reported, and they're receiving this type of intervention. We interview about 450 to 500 kids a year, and we see over 800 in terms of therapy services, our caregivers that we provide services to, and then we work really closely with Corewell Health. We have on-site medical that their forensic nurses can come on site and provide medical exams for the kids as well.
Yeah.
So we see close to about 800 a year.
That's incredible. That's scary. It's sad. I was looking at some of the statistics on your website, the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan website. 13,000, the average number of area school-age children receiving your abuse prevention education annually. 13,000.
Yeah.
The age range of children served by your organization, 3 to 18.
Yes, we see all kids that age, and we also will interview developmentally disabled adults as well.
1 to 4 is the average number of years an abusive relationship lasts.
It's really underreported. Like Amy said, it's really secretive. It's obviously not anything. It's done in private, and most kids know their abuser. It's somebody that has access to them. So it's somebody that the family trusts.
Yeah.
So it's not expected.
Yeah. In fact, that statistic on your website, 90% of offenders are known to the child. So maybe I'll ask you in a couple of moments. We've got to get to weather here. What to look for if you think that might be a thing, or even if you don't, something happens. What do you do next, kind of thing? Okay. All right. It's 7:18 WSJM Morning Show.
Chance of light snow, we drop to 17. And then for tomorrow, mostly cloudy, chance of light snow showers. High temperatures will be right around 27. Will be only around 15 to 17 on Saturday and Sunday with more chances of snow. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
Once again, I was going to have the University of Michigan football coach on this morning. No, I'm just kidding. We'll talk about that later at the right time. But well, Sharon Moore. I mean, yesterday he's coach, and then today not, and been arrested and everything else. So we'll get an update on that from Michigan News Network coming up at 7:30 this morning. But for this hour, our guests in studio are Amy Byrd, the prosecutor for Berrien County, and Jamie Rossow, Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan, the executive director there. And it's a heavy topic, but I think there's a lot of good information that we can share today on this. I'm already learning some stunning statistics about child sexual abuse. Enough offenders are known to the child. 1 in 10 children in our nation will experience child sexual abuse before the age of 18, and 6 to 8, the average age for the onset of a sexually abusive relationship. So when you come in, at what point, how do you get engaged? How does the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan come into one of these situations? What typically happens? What transpires?
So our referrals come from law enforcement and child protective services. So we get the end result of the calls that the community makes to those agencies. So
if a community member, a family member, a teacher, a friend, or
Yeah.
a victim themselves, somehow they get in touch with somebody that then reports it to law enforcement gets in touch with you.
correct. And that's why we push that it's really important for the community to be involved in working with us on this, that if you see something, say something type of thing. We can't do this on our own. We need those people out there that are seeing something that they're concerned about to make those calls to Child Protective Services. There's a 800 number for the state of Michigan for centralized intake. It's anonymous. They can call local law enforcement and they can take it from there. And you really don't even have to have concrete information. If there's a concern, if there's something that you don't think is right and you trust your gut feeling and make those calls. And if it's nothing, hopefully it's nothing. And we figure that out. But if it is something, then you're helping a child.
Yeah, so I mean, it might seem obvious, but the see something, say something. What could we see that we might think, oh, that's kind of odd, and then just walk on with our day when we should have done
Yeah.
something differently?
Well, there's probably a lot if they do. Amy has some good ideas.
Oh.
on
Well,
these too.
sure. I mean, sure. Well, one of the things is to keep in mind is that when you're talking about the average onset is super early in a child's development for this type of abuse. So they may not know that this is abuse, but they
The
may
victim.
not.
The
The
victim
victim
may.
may not, but they may not like it. So a disclosure by a child to a trusted adult could sound something like, "I don't like the game that my babysitter wants to play with me," and it could be them reaching out to try to start that conversation. So if you're a trusted adult in that child's life and you're getting a concern from them, take it seriously. Maybe ask some broad follow-up questions about what is the game, what's going on. And then if the child is disclosing sexual abuse or physical abuse, give them the benefit of the doubt, believe them. So many times, because this is usually a known person of the family, it's hard to want to believe that that's happening, or to even feel like, wow, I put my child in a position where that's happening. But please just believe the child. So it's that from the onset is taking the child's word for it. But there may be some behavioral issues that now the child is displaying. Again, with their development, you have to take that into account. But it could be bedwetting. It could be not being able to sleep. It could be fear of things that they didn't have fear of before, or maybe they're acting differently around an individual in your home or in your social circle, and maybe just looking out for those things and following up with the child would
Yeah.
be beneficial.
Yeah, and it sounds like pay attention, right? And don't just say, "Oh, well, that's just Uncle so and so or cousin so and so."
Right.
Find out. Ask a question.
Right. And, just because, again, we're dealing with family situations, and I think the holidays are a great time to just be aware of these. Perhaps something was okay or deemed appropriate generationally with a family member, but it may not be, right?
Yeah.
And so it's okay to have those boundaries for your child. And if your child is expressing that they want you to assist them with those boundaries and those family gatherings, please do so.
Yeah. We're talking with Amy Byrd, the Berrien County Prosecutor, and Jamie Rossow, Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan, the Executive Director there. How does the center help children and families who are dealing with this, with sexual abuse?
The intervention is the most critical part in terms of getting the information out there. And I think that is the most stressful point for the parents is getting to our place in terms of what to expect. And we actually see almost like a relief from the children and the caregivers after the interview's done. It's like, whew, that weight's off my shoulders. It's out there. And because it's a heavy weight to carry, especially for kids, because as we mentioned, these are typically somebody that's close to the family. So there's a lot of dynamics that go into this, that there's fear of blowing up the family. Is it somebody financial source for the family? Is it, it's usually somebody the family knows and loves, and kids are really fearful and don't necessarily, it's not that they don't like that person. A lot of times they love this person. They just don't love what's happening.
Right.
So we work with them on that. And I think then being able to provide the advocacy and therapy services for the families to be able to process the trauma, and kids that have that intervention and come to therapy and complete, they do really well. It's, it's not going to be a lifelong impact on them in terms of negatively impacting them. They can process it, they can work through it. It's going to be something that happened to them. We worry more about the kids that do not receive that intervention because it can have really long-term effects in terms of their mental health.
Yeah, and and Jamie, you talked a little bit about this on the video live stream, but what does that visit look like for the child from the beginning to the advocacy center?
When you come into our building, there's a lot of toys and a lot of things to play with, and we sometimes struggle to get the kids to go back for the interview, but we have fun things back there, and we have a fairy garden they can see. And so really kids do very well coming there. It's very child friendly. When the child's being interviewed, one of our advocates meets with the caregiver and kind of talks through how they're dealing with it, what their thoughts are. When we do the interview, prior to meeting with the child, the forensic interviewer meets with the caregiver to kind of get family background, talk about why they're here, what their concerns are. It's the opportunity to find out what kind of level of support the child has at home and to let the family know that, we're not here to interrogate your child and we want to make it really child friendly. And hopefully it's a good experience for the kids. Like I said, there's a lot of fun toys and things for them to do.
Yeah.
And if they come back for therapy, they get to see the same group of people. We have a therapy dog, Pawnee, chocolate lab that hangs out
Pawnee
with
is
the
a
kids.
great dog. I had the opportunity to meet Pawnee.
Did you?
Oh yeah,
she's amazing.
She is.
Yeah,
she is very friendly.
And then they have Zoe if they have to go to court.
Yep. You
That's
can
right.
one dog to another.
Yeah.
How's Zoe doing?
She's great.
Yeah, you've had Zoe what, a year now?
Oh,
Almost
over a year.
Over a year.
I want to say 2. I could be wrong,
Okay.
but yes, she's doing wonderful.
That's good.
She's the forever puppy look. She's just tiny for a lab, and she looks like a little puppy all the time. Adorable.
But again, the toys, the fairy garden, the therapy dog, it's all to make a comfortable environment for the kids who've already gone through a trauma.
Right. Yeah. They're already there for reasons that, kids should not experience. So we want to make sure that it's as child friendly as possible. And our goal is to have this recovery be easier on them and supported by all these professionals.
Yeah. Are there education programs or prevention initiatives that are offered either through your organization or others that people who want to help stop the abuse, stop the cycle of abuse, get involved with?
Yeah, our prevention program has exploded over the past 5 years or so. We have a staff that has been phenomenal in growing this and reaching out to kids. Like Amy mentioned, a lot of times these little kids don't even understand what's happening to them, that it's wrong, that doesn't happen in every home. So it's important for parents to talk to their kids, not wait for too long. It can start from when they're really early, just talking about appropriate body parts, et cetera. But so we work in every public school district in Berrien County. We're in some of the private school districts as well. We have a K through 12 program that grows with kids and talks about body safety, what's appropriate, what's not. And we also have adult focus so that if adults want to learn more about child abuse prevention, what to do if a child discloses to you, how to react, those type of things that we offer to the community.
How do you get more information about those programs or get involved?
You can always contact us through our website or giving us a call. We have staff that's ready and available, and we can hook you up with some of our existing programs, and we also will come to you. So if you have a group, youth serving organization, group of parents, somebody that really wants this information, we're happy to travel and bring that information to you.
Okay. You want to give out the website or you want me to do it?
It's swmichigancac.org.
You got it.
I did. I
Yeah,
know.
I was looking at it right here. I was ready in case you didn't. It's SW.
She let the professionals know.
SWMichiganCAC.org. SWMichiganCAC.org. It's the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan. We'll continue this conversation. We're talking with Berrien County Prosecutor Amy Byrd and Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan Executive Director Jamie Rossow. It is the WSJM Morning Show. Oh, do you need volunteers? Do you need anybody? You need or you need money or anything? What do you need? What's the action call?
We're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
We do utilize volunteers for events due to confidentiality of our services. We don't use a lot of on-site, but we do a lot of, financially it's, we can talk about funding later, but we always need money. But we have a care closet that we provide a lot of items to families because sometimes families their home and living environment changes because of the abuse. Yeah. So we want to provide them with some items. So there's always the opportunity for that as well.
Is there a way to donate through the website or how should people donate?
Yeah,
I see a donate button right there.
There you go.
Okay. So go to the website, swmichigancac.org. There's a little button that says at the top called donate, and it says your support's appreciated. So there's a lot of different ways to get involved there.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll be back with more in just a moment. At 7:30, the WSJM Morning Show continues. We've got financial news coming up from our friends at Bloomberg. We've got the latest world and national news update coming up from ABC. Here on the video live stream still. How are we doing? Is this good? Is this what you want to talk about?
Wonderful. Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's not just what we want to talk about, it's what people need to hear.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly
important
right.
Information.
No, you're exactly right. So what's the most rewarding part of your work, Jamie?
I think just seeing these kids do well, because I think obviously with this traumatic experience, families feel like this is going to have this huge impact on the rest of kids' lives. And if they come in, receive services, go through therapy, graduate, we have a little graduation when they finish.
Yeah.
Kids do really well, and they learn those skills of how to deal with what has happened to them. And I think that's really rewarding. As I mentioned before, my staff is phenomenal. I think considering the heaviness of what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, it's a really tight-knit group, and we have a lot of fun outside of the organization. So it's just everyone there is really there for the right reasons and passionate about what they do. So it's just a really rewarding place.
Yeah.
And working with our collaborative team, it's just everybody that is there because they want to make sure that these kids are safe. And it's great to bring everybody together to work towards that goal.
What does therapy look like for the kids and the families?
So therapy, they use, it's called TFCBT, Trauma Focused Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. I got it right.
Wow.
I'm not a therapist, but it's a modality that is used to work with kids that have experienced trauma. So they'll come in typically once a week, and for so many sessions, work with our therapists. We have 2 therapists on staff that work directly with the kids one-on-one, and they will also work with the caregivers as well. We see adult survivors of child sexual abuse that can receive those services. It's all free to the families, and we want to make sure that the kids can process that trauma. And we work with kids that obviously at all different ages, but we always tell the kids, if there's ever a time you need to come back, because if a child experiences sexual abuse when they're 5 or 6 years old and they go through therapy and they process everything and they're doing great, a lot of times those feelings change. And if they hit puberty or get older and have a better understanding of maybe what happened to them, and there may be some other issues that they want to talk through as they get older, we always say, come on back. You know, you're welcome to come back and meet with our therapists again. So we're always open to, and we like to have them come back and see how they're doing. So they do really well.
How are you funded?
Our main funding is federal funding through the Victims of Crime Act. So when Amy's crew prosecutes people and they pay fines, both federally and in the state of Michigan, this happens, those dollars go into a fund that provides funding for crime victim service organizations. So your domestic violence shelters, us, like different groups that are providing services to victims receive some of that funding. Federally, that's a dwindling pot because of how they decide which dollars go into that fund. But we do receive that. We have been United Way funded partners for 20 years. I just figured out the other day, over 20 years.
Wow.
So that's been a phenomenal relationship.
That's great.
Prosecutor's office supports us. Berrien County does, with some funding for our interviews that are kids that are referred through law enforcement.
Okay.
And the community Berrien County has been an amazing community in terms of assisting us whenever we ask for funding and for things that we need. Whether that's corporations, individuals, it's a great philanthropic community to live in. So we kind of get money from a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah. What's your annual budget roundabout?
About 800,000.
Okay.
900,000.
Okay. I don't know, that just from what you've told me already, that seems like a small amount for the work that you do.
It's a tight budget. We're not spending
Amy,
a lot.
you hear that? It's a small amount.
Yeah,
No.
there's a lot more we could do with more funding, and it is just, as a nonprofit, it's year to year, and that's my biggest battle, is just making sure that we can keep staff there, keep doors open, and we're doing a lot legislatively, or trying to do at the state level, to make sure children's advocacy centers are having a line item in the state budget, and we're moving towards that. But, every year we start over with that fight, but.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
good.
I mean, the state lawmakers weren't able to get a budget out on time this year. We had that small blip. Not the federal government shut down, but it was the state government had to pass a continuing resolution. Were your funds in jeopardy for a moment?
Every year it's those, like, it's a little nerve wracking. And we start, we're in October 1 fiscal budget. So it's not knowing, like we're still kind of not 100% sure what those numbers are going to be this year. And we're, keep plugging along and
okay,
we'll have money
keeping our
there.
fingers crossed. Okay, very good. We're talking with Jamie Rossow, the executive director for the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan, and Amy Byrd, Berrien County Prosecutor. I'm going to ask Amy a bunch of questions here in just a couple of moments, but first we're going to break away and get back for our local news preview. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Interest rates as expected. This morning's stock index futures are heading for a lower open. And American Airlines is talking to Amazon about using its satellite-based internet service for in-flight Wi-Fi. In-flight internet access has long been unreliable and expensive for passengers, but many carriers are trying to improve their service thanks to upgraded satellite-based connectivity. Amazon has more than 150 satellites. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:36 WSJM Morning Show continues on your Thursday, December 11th. And let's see, Benton Harbor, 27 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. 28 in St. Joseph under cloudy skies. The feels like in St. Joseph, any guesses?
11.
It's a good guess. Close.
15.
15? We're right in the middle there. It's 13. It feels like 13 in St. Joseph right now. If you were good with the guessing of the numbers, you might want to buy a ticket for Powerball. It's going up over $1 billion now.
Wow.
Nobody won the latest drawing.
Jamie,
Donate to the CAC.
donate to the CAC.
Whether you win or lose, donate. But if you win, donate big. Yeah. Over $1 billion again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that'll be a nice Christmas gift for somebody. The forecast for today does call for mostly cloudy skies. 20% chance of lake effect snow showers today, a high around 25 degrees, winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast cloudy, a 40% chance of snow, a low overnight of 17. Friday, mostly cloudy, a 30% chance of snow showers, high of 27. Saturday, it's going to be cloudy. Saturday is going to be a 70% chance of snow showers. The high is going to be 15 degrees and the low is going to be 10 degrees. It doesn't get much better on Sunday. We'll talk more about our local news in just a moment here on the morning show at 7:37.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The head of the NTSB angry over part of the major defense spending bill that has passed the House and is headed to the Senate. Jennifer Hamady says it rolls back safety measures put in place after the January collision of an Army helicopter and a passenger jet that killed dozens of people.
This is a significant safety setback. It represents an unacceptable risk to the flying public, to commercial and military aircraft crews, and to the residents in the region.
One of the big questions after the U.S. military seized a tanker off Venezuela accused of being used in an illicit oil shipping network. What happens with the oil? President Trump?
Well, we keep it, I guess.
Venezuela calls the operation international piracy. Evacuation orders in parts of Washington state with an atmospheric river dumping more than a foot of rain this week, forcing rivers over their banks. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:38. Some of the news stories that we'll have just after 8 o'clock this morning from the WSJM Newsroom. Fired, then arrested. Michigan football rocked by the news coming out yesterday around head coach Sharon Moore. The event started to become public yesterday afternoon when the University of Michigan announced that it had fired the coach of the Wolverines, effective immediately following an internal investigation. The university said credible evidence showed Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, calling it a clear violation of policy. As people were digesting that news, then other news came out that Moore was in custody in Washtenaw County Jail as a suspect in an alleged assault. So we'll have the latest on that. Michigan News Network will catch us up to speed in just a couple of moments. We'll have that story as well right after 8 o'clock. Other news from our area. The Lincoln Township Fire Department could soon become a full-time operation. Fire chief there says he has a plan to move away from paid on-call staffing and have firefighters available around the clock for better response time. So we'll talk about that. And the city of St. Joseph had an audit, and they received a clean, unmodified audit for the fiscal year ending in June. We'll tell you about some of the areas that were talked about in that audit. So that's coming up just after 8 o'clock as well. It's the WSJ News Now from Michigan News Network.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher.
Okay, back on the video live stream. Berrien County Prosecutor Amy Byrd. How long have you been in office now?
Wow. About a year and a half, I think it's been, because I was appointed.
Yeah.
Yep.
How has it been?
It's been everything it was promised to be.
In a good way, I hope.
In a good way, but I'm so thankful that I get to serve in that role, and it's definitely a service role.
Yeah.
But I have a wonderful, wonderful team, and I'm so proud to represent that office for sure.
Everyone staffed up. You have everybody in place that you need.
We need more.
Yeah.
We need more. So if anybody has any friends or family who are attorneys and want to move to Southwest Michigan, give me a call. Happy to meet them.
What's
a
the
great
day?
group.
Yeah, what's the day in the life like at the prosecutor's office?
There is no one day in the life. The best way I can put it is if you could just imagine an ER and all the various things that may happen in an ER, and then just move that into the criminal sector. That's us.
Something different happening all the time.
And we're in court every day. We're meeting with witnesses, victims of crime. We're going to interviews at the Children's Advocacy Center. It could be anything every day. And so we're very mentally flexible.
Yeah. So if you're an attorney and you're somebody who's passionate about serving the public, and you love the idea of no day being the same,
can't be bored here.
Call the prosecutor's office. Okay. How does the Berrien County Prosecutor's Office work with the Children's Advocacy Center? What's that relationship look like?
Sure. So we are so grateful to have them. Their forensic interviewers are highly trained, who are trying to get information from a child based on their developmental level regarding child abuse, right?
Yeah. Pausing there for just a moment. How is it different to get information, especially information that you might be usable in a court? How different is it getting it from a child versus getting it from an adult? Is it more difficult?
It's more, I guess there's more challenges to it, that we're used to just talking to adults, and adults are going to tell you things or they're not going to tell you things, right? But a child, they have lots of motivations as to why they maybe would or wouldn't disclose something. For example, they may not, it's usually that they don't want to. It is really the problem, right?
Because they think they might get in trouble,
they don't
or they
wanna
might
get in
be
trouble.
judged or something.
Right. They don't want to disappoint a parent. Maybe this is a step parent that's doing something, or a boyfriend or girlfriend. So they don't want to upset mom or dad.
Yeah.
They're afraid that they've done something wrong. They're maybe based on their developmental level, they're not really sure about what happened to them. So you can't just go into it like you would an adult who knows that sexual abuse is wrong and that you shouldn't have touched me here. A child may not know those things. And also, we don't want to give the child information. We just want the information from the child. To be able to approach those interviews in a way that asks open-ended questions and is really child-led, I think. Those are important things to do so that you're getting information that happened from the child, right? Instead of providing information.
Okay. Thank you for the sidebar there.
Sure.
Using a legal term, by the way.
Yes.
Sidebar. No, just kidding. So again, talking more about the relationship with CAC and prosecutor's office.
Sure. So the children get to go to this trauma-informed location and get the interviews completed. If there is a disclosure of sexual abuse or physical abuse, we're still working with the Children's Advocacy Center going forward. If that child's received therapy, we might be checking in to just make sure, hey, are they going? We're not getting information unless the family is fine with us getting that. But we want to follow up and make sure that the child is getting support outside of the courthouse, essentially, outside of the advocacy center. That means family members following through, things like that. So we're working with them in that respect. And we're also coordinating, if the child has to come to court, they're also getting additional support through the CAC as far as any anxiety or fear they're having about going into the courtroom. They can still talk to their therapist and work on that there. So that's incredibly important. One of the great things that's kind of newer is the outreach that they're able to do now with children, and giving children the tools that they need to understand what a good touch is, understand, what to do if you're uncomfortable, giving them the language, giving them the confidence to reach out to a trusted adult. I think that was a component that was really lacking in our community, is giving kids those tools. Something I've learned just in this role is that if children have the vocabulary and have a game plan of what to do if this happens, they're far less likely to be abused from the get-go, because the abuser will see this child as actually maybe not a good candidate for abuse, because they're going to tell.
Yeah.
And so that is incredible in potentially reducing the amount of children who are being abused, and what a benefit to community safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the prevention programs that are in the schools as
Right.
part of this.
Yeah, and we always say it's adults' responsibility to protect kids, but you also have to give kids those skills and that knowledge that it's okay to say no to an adult, because kids are, raised to you listen to your adults in your life, and that, their body's theirs and they can say no. And we talk about, like, even if the holidays, of letting kids make those decisions. If they don't want to hug Great Aunt Joe, then let's not have them hug them, and let them kind of make those decisions. But that really gives the kids the strength and the opportunity. And then they know, okay, I have some trusted adults that I can talk to if something happens. And we don't call them, it used to be good touch, bad touch. And now it's more, I think they call them confusing touches. So it's not, because it's not necessarily bad or painful or anything, but it's just confusing to a kid, and that you should be talking to someone about it.
All right. We're going to continue this conversation in just a moment here on the video live stream. We're talking with Berrien County Prosecutor Amy Byrd and Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan Executive Director Jamie Rossow. Be back in just a moment.
17 on Saturday and Sunday with more chances of snow. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
.47, it's the WSJM Morning Show for Thursday, December 11th. And let's do our Moody on the Market update. Our Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And excuse me, our guests this morning. Guests are Amy Byrd, the Berrien County Prosecutor, and Jamie Rossow, Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan, the director there. And we're talking this morning about a very heavy topic, child abuse. It can be physical abuse, it can be sexual abuse, and when they experience that trauma, they have some place to go. And someplace to enter into the legal system in a good way. The Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan does a lot. And so that's one of the reasons we love Southwest Michigan, because there are people out there who care. So thank you for doing what you do. You want to talk about some of the people who make this possible? Board members, volunteers, staff?
We have a great group. We have a dedicated board of directors. Like, so we're a nonprofit or a 501c3. So we do have a strong board that really works to make sure that we're financially stable and able to keep providing these free services. And we have a lot of community members that step in and help with events, with our care closet items. This time of year, we've had great support with corporations of helping us stock our care closet. And the community has always been phenomenal. When we've asked, they've stepped up and provided things that we've needed.
Yeah, the care closet. What kind of things do you look for? Maybe the community can donate through your website.
We have a lot of different items. We have a lot of personal hygiene items. We have clothes sometimes that kids come in and maybe they need additional clothes if they're maybe not going back to their home because of the interview, that they might need different items. So we take new items. And anything from like laundry detergent to personal hygiene items to, leggings for girls. Right now we're getting a lot of asks for winter coats. And we do snacks. We have snacks that the kids, they're there sometimes for a long time. So they have snacks, and then kids leave with a comfort item when they're done. So we have a new stuffed animal that we give to kids when they leave, so they get to pick out from our big bucket of stuffed animals.
Nice.
So a lot of different things that we have in our care closet.
Yeah. So the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan, it is a 501c3. They are a nonprofit, and there's a way to donate. So if you just go to their website, you can learn more about not only what they do, but how you might be able to donate, go to swmichigancac.org. And along the top there's all the different information buttons, including donate. You click on that and you can get that. Had the, what was it? The Voices of Our Children for Our Children event.
Yes.
How did that go?
It went well. It's our annual fundraiser that we bring all of our supportive group and people together to do our fundraiser. This one was specifically to fund our prevention program.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, our funding is state and federal for direct victim services, but prevention is really hard to sometimes find funding for.
Oh, didn't know that.
A little more difficult to provide, to get funding for prevention services. So that event is supporting our prevention program, which is where we're in the schools on a daily basis.
Okay, very nice. All right, well, and more about the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan in just a moment, but that's our Moody on the Market update for this hour, which is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles, and it's 7:50. We're going to be, we've got the Safe and Secure ad coming up. You want to hear your ad?
Sure.
Okay, so we'll have that.
Which one is it?
Let me, yeah, exactly.
I love it.
So we'll do insurance management, and then we'll play your ad and come back and talk to you about it, Amy Byrd, because this is your child right here.
Wonderful.
Okay, we'll be right back on WSJM.
Rich Brand Tara Causey from Insurance Management Service.
Okay, just a quick, in case you're like, what are you talking about, Ken? Well, the Berrien County Prosecutor's Office and WSJM, we've got the Safe and Secure campaign.
Yes.
And so we'll come back in about 40 seconds, and we'll hear that ad that you led the way on. And so we'll talk about it and then how it's going from here on out. So we'll talk about it in just a moment here on WSJM.
Tarek and I, we love going to work every day. There's Sunday afternoons. It's like, man, I'm glad that Monday morning's only a couple of hours away. I can't wait to get back to work. And we enjoy the people that we work with in our office, and we enjoy the clients that we work with each and every day. We get excited every day about doing insurance in Berrien County in Southwest Michigan.
IMS, an auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles.
We're watching over you. IMS Insurance Management Service.
IMS is proud to partner with Auto Owners Insurance.
You work hard, come home tired. You're a dad, a protector. You've got that firearm for your family's safety. But think about this, friend. That truck you drive, it's not the safest place for your gun overnight. It's vulnerable to theft, to ending up where it shouldn't be. When you walk through that door, ready to see your kids, remember this. When you go to bed, tuck your gun away inside your home, unloaded, secure, just like you make sure the doors are locked. It takes just a moment, but that moment can make all the difference. You're a responsible man. You take care of your family. Bringing your firearm inside and locking it up safe, that's just one more way you do what's right. It's your right to have a gun. It's your gun. Don't let somebody else pull the trigger. Visit WSJM.com to learn more, in partnership with the Berrien County Prosecutor's Office.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
That's a powerful ad.
I think the best part of the ad, there's three.
Yeah.
They're all great, but each one has the exact same tagline at the end, and that is, it's your gun. Don't let someone else pull the trigger. And essentially, that's what it really gets boiled down to. We don't want guns ending up in the hands of people who have stolen them and using them in the community, or kids. So regardless of who it is, it's just really important that you're keeping it secure for the community safety.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what the campaign's all about, because it is illegal not to have your firearm safely stored.
Well, and really, though, that legislation came through to protect children, right? And so that's certainly that's number one priority.
Yeah.
We don't want kids getting into guns. And we've always, heard the horror stories, but those things still happen close to home. Those aren't just things you hear on the national news or they're happening somewhere else. They're happening here. And really, at the end of the day, there's no ill intent. There's no malicious intent, but these children are still getting their hands on guns. Great if you have a gun and are exercising your right to have a gun, just please store it safely, especially maybe there's some grandparents or aunts and uncles that are listening who don't have children in their home every day, but it's the holiday time. So
Yeah.
please consider who's going to be coming over for family gatherings.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Amy Byrd, Berrien County Prosecutor, for partnering on that campaign of awareness and helping people understand the importance of that. We appreciate it.
And we appreciate all the work that was put into that campaign by the radio station, and we are just so pleased with it. We've gotten so many good comments and lots of good feedback on it. And hopefully, if you've heard the ad at least once, you're also spreading the message to other people you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep them safe. Don't let somebody else pull the trigger on your firearm. I think that you're right. It's powerful.
Yes, it is.
It's powerful. Okay, 7:55. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Our guests in studio this morning, Amy Byrd, Berrien County Prosecutor, and Jamie Rossow is the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan Executive Director there. A couple more minutes here, and so we've got a couple of messages, and then we'll conclude our interview with these individuals. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, we've got to do ads.
Gotta pay for things.
Got to pay the bills.
I get it.
What else do we need to talk about the Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan? What's most misunderstood about what you do?
Well, that's a good.
I think, the kids that it doesn't happen in my school or my community.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
We're still on the video live stream. By the way.
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry.
talk about that, Jamie.
Okay then. Sorry. I think
See, it's all candid, unedited, right here.
Because child sexual abuse is done in private, and it's typically not a crime that's anybody's witnessing. That a lot of people think that'll never happen in my family, that'll never happen in my school district or different areas. We see kids from every single school district, all different ages,
every community,
and it's happening everywhere. And I think the fact that it is someone that they know and love and have access to your kids. And I always say, if somebody wants to spend more time with your child than you do, that, if it's
Warning
somebody
sign.
outside,
Sure.
or if your child's reacting differently to that person. But I think it is very prevalent. I know I've had many comments where, we really need that service in Berrien County. Yes, we need the service in Berrien County. And we see those 800 kids a year, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. We know most kids aren't getting to us.
Yeah.
So I think it just that awareness, and that it's up to the community to protect kids. It's not up to the kids to protect themselves, and to be able to make those reports, because we need these kids to have these services, to be safe, to protect the other children from being abused by that same person.
Okay. We're going to conclude this interview in just a moment. We're talking with Berrien County Prosecutor Amy Byrd and Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan Executive Director Jamie Rossow. It's going to continue here in just a moment on the WSJM Morning Show, and then we'll wrap it up, get into news from ABC.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
Just a couple of minutes before 8 o'clock, we'll have news from ABC. We'll have the latest local news from our WSJM newsroom. So as a first-timer here, Jamie Rossow from Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan, how was it?
It was good.
Is this doing all right?
Yeah, I'm going to come back.
Excellent. We will have you back.
Something to talk about.
It was
fun.
You thought an hour? How in the world are we going to fill an hour?
Yes.
It went by
very
fast. I think it went fast. Did we do all right?
There's so much we could talk about on this. We could have done it all day. So yeah, it did go very fast.
I didn't even broach the topic of social media. How is social media affected? Is it?
Oh boy. I mean, I think it's probably the newest way that people are grooming children.
Yeah, being
100%.
predators.
And being, yes. So just, I guess, to parents out there, please monitor your child's phone and devices. Please be aware of what apps they're using, what social media they're on. And this is the new wave. People are targeting children, and they look like children online, perhaps. That's how they're getting through to your kids. But they're essentially entrapping them and bringing them into an abusive situation.
Yeah, and AI is going to make it even more difficult. So again,
100%.
having those conversations with your children now and frequently, probably the best thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we actually, as part of our prevention education, is we have training for caregivers and parents about what's appropriate apps, how to protect kids from apps. We're kind of that push of waiting till at least 8th grade or older to give kids phones. It's parents' responsibility to keep kids protected. And I think just having that internet in your hand, we are seeing more and more kids referred to us due to interactions they've had online.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to conclude there for now, but we will have you back anytime.
Okay.
And Jamie Rossow is the Executive Director for Children's Advocacy Center of Southwest Michigan. Amy Byrd is our Berrien County Prosecutor. Thank you both for coming in. Thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. It's 7:59 coming up on 8 o'clock. Latest world and national news now from ABC.
From ABC News,